Hi there, and welcome to this special Mindfulness Monday session where we are going to be looking at managing anxiety. So, in this session, we are going to learn about anxiety, stress, and how to differentiate between the two. There will be 3 meditations that we hope will help you to relax and help you reduce your anxiety levels. As you can see, we have our roadmap in front of us. And we are going to get started off first and foremost with the what. More specifically, what is anxiety? So anxiety is defined as a persistent feeling of worry, fear, or nervousness. Now many, if not most people, feel anxious from time to time, especially when faced with stressful events or big life changes. Anxiety is actually a natural human response when we perceive that we are in danger, or perhaps when we are feeling threatened. So this brings us on to the next question. Is anxiety normal? In short, yes. In the UK, a little over 1 in 10 of us will be living with or experiencing anxiety at any one time. And that means that's over 8 million people. Now, it's important to note that everyone's experiences of anxiety are different. So some people might experience it on a daily basis, whilst for others, it might be associated with an isolated event or perhaps a specific trigger. So on to the hows, or more importantly, how does anxiety affect us? So as I just mentioned, most of us experience anxiety on one-off occasions. And generally, when that happens, we're able to cope with and manage whatever distress might be occurring and to not let it seep into or affect wider aspects of our lives. Anxiety becomes quite problematic when we find it affecting our day-to-day life. So more specifically, if you notice your anxiety is lasting for a long time, if the feeling of worries are out of proportion to the situation, or if you find yourself experiencing symptoms such as avoidance or panic attacks, ultimately, anxiety becomes problematic when it gets in the way of you enjoying and living your life in the way you want to. And when it gets to this point, anxiety often makes it difficult to carry out daily aspects of life, including looking after yourself, holding down a job, maintaining relationships, trying out new things, and enjoying activities that you used to enjoy. Moving on to the symptoms of anxiety. Now, these are going to be broken down into both mental health or psychological symptoms and physical symptoms. It's important to note that anxiety affects both our physical selves and our psychological selves. So this list in front of you now, it's not exhaustive, but more so is made up of the most common kind of reactions that we have as humans to anxiety. So mental health or psychological symptoms can include racing thoughts, uncontrolled overthinking with difficulties concentrating. We might find ourselves feeling irritable, and actually we have a heightened alertness. So like we're in that, if you've ever heard of fight or flight before, we're in our fight mode. You might notice yourself wanting to escape from the situation that's causing the anxiety. And most commonly, there are normally feelings of dread, panic, or impending doom associated with the anxious thoughts or the anxious trigger. Physical symptoms, on the other hand, can include things like sweating, heavy and fast breathing. We might find our heart racing, dry mouth shaking. For some people, you may get the butterflies in your stomach feeling and a burst of energy. Whilst for others, they might experience immediately following the event extreme tiredness or lack of energy. We're now going to quickly touch on the differences between anxiety and stress, because most people use the terms interchangeably, when in fact, anxiety and stress are their own separate things. So, most people experience both stress and anxiety at some point in their lives. And depending on the level of severity, both can be detrimental on one's quality of life. And although stress and anxiety do share many of the same emotional, psychological, and physical symptoms, they have very different origins. And it's really important to determine which one you're experiencing, so that way you can use effective interventions or techniques to help and make you feel better. So, stress. Stress is generally a response to an external cause, such as a deadline at work or having an argument with a friend, which I think the gentleman on the screen would probably agree with. Now, the thing was with stress, it will generally subside once the situation has been resolved. And because stress is caused by external factors, tackling these head-on can help. So for people who experience prolonged chronic stress, there are many ways to manage and reduce the symptoms, such as physical activity, breathing exercises, making sure you have adequate sleep, and taking time to connect with others. Anxiety, though, is a person's specific reaction to stress, which means its origin is internal. Anxiety is typically characterized by persistent feelings of apprehension or dread. And normally these are associated with situations that are not actually threatening. And unlike stress, anxiety will persist even after the concern has passed. It's important to know how to identify and differentiate signs of stress and anxiety, especially as stress is a common trigger for anxiety, and it's important to catch these symptoms early on in order to prevent the development of further anxiety in the future. So we're now going to move on to our first meditation. And this meditation is great if you are a beginner, and if you are an experienced practitioner of mindfulness meditation, just a great refresher and getting us back to the basics. So this meditation, which is called Finding Your Breath, the body, as we know, is always breathing, and the breath is constantly moving, almost always without us noticing or appreciating it. Learning to focus on the breath is a great place to start your practice, as it's constant and something that you can always return to should you need a little extra containment or perhaps centering. So in this practice, we are going to focus on gently finding the breath within the body. To start, I'd like you to find a comfortable position for you. So sitting is generally best, as it helps to keep you awake and energized. However, you can try to lie flat on your back or standing, whatever feels the most comfortable and sustainable for you, as we are going to be engaging in a few minutes of stillness. Let you take a couple seconds to find your comfortable position. Okay, we shall be in our comfortable positions now. And I would like you to gently allow your eyes to close or partially close, with a soft gaze at a point in the room, such as the floor, ceiling, or at the image on the screen. Allowing the eyes to relax and to rest on one specific point. The idea behind this is to minimize any distractions here today in this practice. Bring awareness to the abdomen, relaxing the muscles there. I'd like you to see if you can feel the natural rising and falling of the tummy with each in and out breath. I'd like you to imagine the body is breathing itself from the navel around to the obliques. Notice the movements, both large and small, with each breath. Let us take 5 deep breaths like this. And our 5th breath. Great. I now invite you to move your awareness from the navel up to the chest. And as you inhale, tune into the expansion of the lungs and rising of the chest. And as you exhale, feel the contraction and the movement. If it helps, you can put your hand over your heart, feeling it rise and fall with each breath. I'd like you to see if you can follow the breath. Follow the feeling of your breath from the beginning of your inhalation through to the end of your exhalation. Now, bring your attention to the nostrils and the feeling of the breath you might find to be more subtle here. Try to take a deep breath in to see what is present for you. You may notice a slight tickle at the tip of your nose as you breathe in, and you may notice the breath slightly warmer on the way out. Let's take a few moments to focus on the nostrils. I'd like you to rest your awareness on the body breathing in one of these 3 spots: the navel or the belly, the chest, or the nostrils. And when the mind wanders, refocus on the direct experience of the breath in that place. We're going to continue to observe the breath for the next 2 minutes. So, as we come to wrapping up this period of practice, I invite you to bring this awareness with you into your daily life and try to stay in touch with the breath in your body in order to help your mind remain present. Now, this meditation is also very helpful when you experience anxiety, as by focusing on the breath, you'll be able to distract yourself from the felt feelings of anxiety, from whatever that trigger is. And by focusing on the breath, you'll be able to help calm many of those physical symptoms of anxiety. We're going to move on to our second meditation, which is called Calm, Clarity, and Confidence. So, this is a 5-minute breathing space practice, and this is something that you can use anywhere to help yourself regain calmness, clarity, and confidence. So to begin, become physically still wherever you are, adopting that comfortable lying, sitting, or standing position. Again, it's really important to choose a posture that you're going to be as comfortable as possible in. And I invite you to lightly close your eyes, or to again close them partially and letting your gaze be soft on a point in the room, or perhaps the image on the screen in front of you. I invite you to bring your awareness to whatever is going on for you right now. Give the weight of your body up to gravity, allowing your weight to sink into the points of contact between your body and the floor, chair, or bed. What sensations are there for you right now? If you notice any tension or resistance towards painful or perhaps unpleasant sensations, instead of shying away, gently turn towards them, accepting them as best you can. If you find yourself beginning to tense around the out-breath, that's perfectly fine. Just try to let go a little bit more with each out-breath. As we soften, giving in to the gravity, notice any thoughts as they arise and pass through the mind. See if you can let them come and go without being able to identify their content. Observing them as if they're clouds in the sky. And instead, noticing any feelings or emotions. Can you let these come and go? Are you able to include everything within your awareness with a kindly perspective? Now, Allow your awareness to gather around the experience of the breath deep in the body. Drop your awareness inside the breath and feel the different sensations in the front, back, and sides of the torso. Can you feel your awareness within the flow and movement of the breath? I invite you to try to use the breath to anchor your awareness in the present moment, breathing in the body, noticing each inhale and exhale again and again. And each time you notice your mind has wandered, as it will, try to gently guide the mind back to the breath deep within the body, feeling the different sensations in the front, back, and sides of your torso. We'll try this for the next minute. Now, gently expand your awareness of the breath to include the whole body. Feel the weight and the shape of the body as it sits, stands, or lies. And if you have any pain or discomfort, making sure that your awareness stays open. An important part of this practice is to cultivate an acceptance or acknowledgement for all of your experiences, to befriend them, using the breath to anchor your awareness in the present moment, breathing in the body and noticing each inhale and exhale again and again. We'll finish off this particular meditation with the final 5 deep body feeling breaths. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, and I invite you to gently open your eyes. Okay, I hope that you found that short mindful breathing exercise to be hopefully relaxing and to perhaps have helped you to connect more with what's going on for you right now in this moment. We're now moving on to the final meditation session. Final meditation of this session. And this meditation is a longer one, and it's focused on reducing anxiety whilst promoting relaxation. So, as we know, anxiety is experienced in many ways, and the more common manifestations of anxiety normally include the tight chest, tense muscles, restlessness, and increased breathing and worried thoughts. Through this exercise, we aim to help you to reduce anxiety and to support your ability to self-soothe and to promote relaxation. So what I'd like you to do is to take the next 30 seconds or so to bring to mind a situation which evokes a moderate amount of anxiety. So just enough that it's felt in the body, but not so much that you find yourself running away with your thoughts. Great. So now that you have your anxiety-provoking situation in mind, you may find yourself feeling some of those physical sensations, perhaps a little bit of restlessness or tenseness in the muscles of the face, like the jaw, around the eyes. You may have found yourself clenching your fists. So, to begin, I'd like you to find yourself back in your comfortable sitting, lying, or standing position. Eyes closed or partially closed. And to begin, I'd like you to focus back on your breath, breathing in deeply through the nose, letting yourself feel the nourishment of the oxygen you are taking in. Now exhale out through the mouth, blowing out all the air as if you are a child blowing out your birthday candles. With the next inhale, focus on slowing your breathing, dropping it into a soothing, calm rhythm. Ensure to exhale fully, releasing all of the air in your diaphragm. Continue to breathe slowly and calmly. In this moment, your only job is to keep yourself feeling as comfortable as possible until the feelings of anxiety pass. What's important to note is that fighting against anxiety only makes it stronger. So right now, in this moment, it is important to accept anxiety's presence and to direct your attention to calming thoughts to relieve the anxiety. Now this can be done by repeating the following phrases. I'm feeling anxious right now, but that's okay. This feeling will soon pass, and no harm will come to me. Even though I'm feeling overwhelmed or frightened, I am safe here in this moment. I will get through this. I will be okay. Now, I'd like you to stay with your soothing breath and to give yourself calming messages. And if phrases are too long, perhaps words such as calm, safe, okay can be used instead. Let us now move on to addressing any physical reactions to anxiety that you may be experiencing. So when you experience anxiety, your body enters into what's known as our fight or flight mode. Your heart rate increases so that oxygen can be delivered to your muscles that will allow for you to use those muscles to perhaps escape from danger or to fight off a predator. Just remember that here in this moment, there is no real danger right now. So the adrenaline that's flowing through your body is not being used. You may actually be finding yourself feeling restless or perhaps trembling as a result of this. Let us turn attention towards the trembling or feelings of restlessness and decrease these by physically shaking out your tension. Starting with your hands, shake them as though you're shaking off water. Shake your hands and wrists, allowing them to be limp. And as you shake both your hands, extend this up to your forearms quite quickly. Bring to mind an image that you are shaking off your tension and that anxiety droplets are flying off your hands and fingertips. Now stop, allowing your hands to come to a standstill, perhaps gently resting them on your lap. And notice, is the tension still present? Or are your hands now feeling more relaxed? Continuing with your soothing soothing breathing, and calm thoughts. On each inhale, I'd like you to think to yourself, I am becoming more and more calm. And on each exhale, think, I am becoming more and more relaxed. Repeat the words calm, relaxed, calm, relaxed, as you stay with your breath. And should you notice the mind wandering as it may, gently turn it back to the words and refocus yourself on the breath. We'll try this for the next minute. Now that you may be feeling more calm and relaxed, we will turn our focus to the muscles in which you may be feeling tension has settled. During times of anxiety, you may notice your muscles often becoming quite tired or cramped as a result of this. Let us direct our attention towards this and begin the process of relaxing your muscles through releasing the tension found within the body. So first, I'd like you to allow the muscles in your jaw to soften, allowing the jaw to drop so that your teeth are not touching. Let your shoulders gently drop, becoming relaxed and loose. You may want to move your shoulders in slow, gentle circles. I invite you to let your shoulders drop a little bit further. A little bit further more, increasing distance between them and your ears. Now, raise your arms above your head, clasping your fingers together, and gently stretch from side to side. Now slowly lower your arms back down to your sides, allowing them to hang limply. Now, turn your head to the left. Feel a gentle stretch down your neck. Don't go too far that it becomes uncomfortable. Just turning to the point where you feel a nice stretch. Move it back to the center. And now, turn your head to the right. Again, stopping when you feel that nice, gentle stretch. Bringing your head back to center. Look down, extending the stretch through your upper back and neck. If you're lying down, bringing your chin to your chest. Bringing your head back to center, looking straight ahead. Take a deep breath in and raise your gaze or your head looking towards the sky, and exhale. Slowly lower your head, and as you do so, release the last of the anxiety, exhaling until there is no stress, no anxiety, and no breath left within you. Bringing your head back to its neutral position, straightening out your posture so that you're upright and comfortable. Continue to breathe, move, stretch and relax, allowing the tension to gently slip away into nothingness. Now remember, when you find your levels of anxiety rise in the future, try these 4 simple steps to help you relax and for the anxiety to melt away. So remember to breathe. Remember to breathe slowly and to exhale fully. Try to calm your thoughts, reminding yourself that in this moment you are safe and that the anxiety will pass. Third, physically shake out the tension. Arms, hands, feet and toes. And lastly, relax your muscles, especially those found in your jaw and upper back. So, we're coming to the end now of our session. You cannot have a positive life and a negative mind. And I invite you to take those words with you forward through today. Now, coming up next, we're going to be running another mindfulness session. This will be focusing on mindfulness for life post-lockdown. Great. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you in a few weeks' time for our life post-lockdown session.